Okay, this is a quote. No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I
Scream,
want to be
Casey
in the
Becker.
sequel.
Or no, not Casey Becker. Oh no. Oh my God. It's Rose McGowan's character. It's her last name's Riley. Hold on. No, I'm going to get it. Her last name's Riley. Tatum,
yeah.
There we go.
You just needed to name the movie. You did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoops. Hey, everybody. My name's John.
I'm Bob. He's Bi.
They're Butch.
And together we are the Butch and the Bi.
And we had a good time watching A Tale of Too Many Scary Stories.
A tale of so much fake blood and gore.
Tale of what's your favorite scary movies?
A tale of finding new fears that you didn't know you had before.
This week, we survived a big sick 19 so that you don't have to, hopefully.
We got the witch curse, and it's finally passed.
It hit us hard like a truck. Luckily, it was delayed, but we are alive. Unfortunately, it also coincided with the start of my 2-week vacation, which we had intended to do a bunch of Halloween spooky-themed episodes. And that didn't work out, and we want to talk about spooky stuff. So we're just going to be talking about horror in general and some of the movies we watched over the last couple of weeks and just things that we like in general about the genre. That being said, it might be a little bit longer of an episode. There's that. And also, Bob, I realize I will need to run downstairs and grab it, and I will. I wanted to have you quiz me on horror stuff using those cards.
Oh, yeah, open the new pack.
Yeah, open the new pack.
Oh, that's fun. Finally have you be the one who's
yes,
answering things.
Yeah,
it
worked out.
Amazing.
But of course I picked something I know a lot about. And then also at the end, we will be catching up. Holy shit, Batman. Oh man.
We've had multiple weeks off where we
did not this.
We did nothing, and we have a disease that is known for messing with how your brain functions.
Honk. So we will also be catching up with some of our faithful listeners because we'll be reading some things they sent us to say. Did I organize those in any way other than what they came in as? No, Bob. No, I did not. So, without further ado, Dear Diary.
Very special episode.
On a very special episode. Well, first off, let's talk about that. Chucky season 2 started, which has been so much fun. Yes, we've got our whole Chucky jamboree down here. And the most recent episode, they were partying. They were making a satire of the 80s, 90s TV show, a very special episode in which typically it's about maybe like drug use or a metaphor for drug use. It's like, oh, candy use or caffeine use. That's exactly what Saved by the Bell did, I believe.
Amazing. It's fun because caffeine is a drug.
It is
not
yes.
scheduled at all.
Yeah. Well, if it was, then people wouldn't need it. Ayo. No, so they did a whole episode that was parody of that, and it was also kind of a parody of Bound, which is the 90s Jennifer Tilly movie, which is wild, that keeps getting referenced. And then it was just also like a fun like Clue homage. There were a lot of fun things about Clue in there that I really liked.
Yeah, and various horror movies. There was a little window silhouette that was a Psycho reference.
Yep. Yeah. All in all, it was a really fun episode, and the entire episode was pretty much a bottle episode outside of a couple extra fun scenes with Chucky. And I also saw the return of Glenn and Glenda to the franchise, which, Bob, I finally unfollowed the Chucky subreddit. I unfollowed the Scream subreddit right before Scream 2022 came out because I couldn't deal with it anymore. And this season of the show has finally made the Chucky fans unbearable. So for those not to know, this is going to be an episode where I know a lot of things and then Bob knows some things because I've made them watch things. But for those not in the know, Seed of Chucky came out in 2003. It was the last movie in the Child's Play franchise for a very long time. And then Don Mancini, Universal Pictures was like, hey, go ahead and make more movies, but they're going to be direct to DVD. And he ended up making both one of the best Chucky movies ever, with Curse of Chucky, as we've talked about in the past, and one of the worst, if not the worst, Chucky movie with Cult of Chucky.
I would put it at worst.
Yeah, it's horrendous. But those two movies didn't address Glenn or Glenda in any really capacity. And then season 1 made reference to Glenn and Glenda. Both Chucky made a reference to Glenn, and then Tiffany did make a reference to Glenda. And so we got an inkling of like, oh, they're still out there. And this episode, we saw their 18th birthday. They're the possessed twins from that movie. And the two souls, I guess, that were Glenn and Glenda, have been split into these two different children, just like the end of that movie. Nothing about that has changed. The thing that has changed is that they have grown into young adults. They are now 18. They are more sentient than the children that they were at the end of that movie. And the thing that they've discovered about their identities is that they are non-binary, both of them. And for Glenn, who was the main character of Seed of Chucky, who presented more, in a way, masculine, just in the fact that they had short hair, for them presenting is more feminine. They have long hair. They still don't have their eyebrows, which is a fun throwback to their original look. They're basically dressed exactly the way they were as a doll, which is interesting. And then for Glenda, they're a bit more masculine and they have short hair. And they spell that out in this episode in which they reappear. They make it very clear. They spell it out. And that subreddit, everybody over the age of 40 can't figure. Oh, there's going to be a lot of swearing in this episode because it's our R-rated episode.
Yeah, we're talking about horror.
Yeah. But yeah, they spelled out in the episode, and so many people the next day when I was reading through everything still couldn't figure out. I just can't tell which one's which. I don't know which one's Glenn and which one's Glenda. And that doesn't make sense because Glenda's a girl's name and blah, 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 blah. It's so tiring. So there's that fun diatribe about that. Anyways, we've talked about Chucky a lot in the past. But Bob, I wanna open up with a very simple question.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What is my favorite scary movie? It? No, I've not seen.
I know you haven't. I just saw the opportunity and took
it. It was good. I didn't realize I set you up, but I set you up good. And you knocked it down. I am not. I know I should have prepared for this question. This is the most obvious question.
It really
and
is.
I did not prepare.
We just rewatched the entire Scream, like 5 movies this week. And how did you not have this just ready?
I just don't. I don't watch a lot outside of watching things with you.
Yeah. So of the things that I've shown to you, what is your favorite of the bunch? You have to have one.
Yeah.
Do I need to go tie myself up and give you a phone call and say I'm going to get gutted if you don't pick a favorite scary movie? Heaven forbid I make them pick a favorite of anything.
It's hard when it's a thing I don't have as many feelings.
Which one did you like the most?
That's what I'm trying to figure out for reference. I am going by favorite as what is a thing that I enjoyed. Mm-hmm. It's hard because I really just
Do you not remember the list?
No, I remember the list. Okay. I'm more so like I enjoy the franchise, and like choosing a specific one makes less sense in my brain. Like I'm just like,
okay, then pick a franchise. If you have a franchise, I'm kind of shocked that that's a possible answer for you.
I think at this point it's just Chucky. Like I enjoy watching Chucky stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's that or Scream. Like I just it builds. It builds.
Bob the Builder, can we build it? Yes, we can. That's fair. No, I think that's a fair thing because to a degree, I mean, there's a reason why I rewatch the entire Scream franchise every year. It's because collectively they make a fun thing, whereas it's kind of like, okay, you either watch the first one and don't watch anything else, or you watch the first one, then the second one, then the third, because they build, like, that's their whole thing. So no, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, Scream's my favorite horror movie. It's a horror movie. Sorry, horror fans that don't that gatekeep horror. It's so weird. Um, but yeah, and I think we did an episode on Scream, but if we didn't, Scream 2022, really good. Probably, I mean, I literally posted the ranking in my friends like group chat about horror stuff and movies. I ranked it the first Scream movie, Scream 2022, Scream 2, Scream season 3 of the TV show, which we still didn't watch.
Yeah.
Scream 3 and Scream 4. That's my ranking. It's the best ranking. It's the only valid one.
This is our podcast, so what we say goes.
Yep, sure does.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it does?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of bits from other movies, and I'm like, I appreciate so much interesting VFX and stuff, and I'm like, or like just the concept of something. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool concept, but I don't actually relish being terrified out of my mind.
I call it microdosing trauma. It's great.
Yeah, I've been doing that by playing Spiritfarer, which is a game about helping spirits let go at the end of their life. You're basically a hospice nurse, and having relationships with these different characters and giving them things to help them feel fulfilled before they go through the effort door. And that's how I microdose trauma.
So is Spiritfarer, are you telling me that in a way, Spiritfarer is just the spin-off series to Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids, but it's Foster's hospice care for ghosts?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit. Okay, great. Yeah, so you talked about it a bit. We watched, so AMC has a streaming only service called Shudder. It's all horror all the time. And typically it's got a lot of independent horror, and it's got a lot of old horror. It doesn't really have a great collection of modern horror, which is more the arena I'm in of watching stuff. Basically 90s to now, except for the first Halloween and the first Nightmare, like in the Chucky movies.
Yeah.
But they had 2 really great miniseries this year. They had 101 Scariest Moments in Horror, which was a collection of clips and discussion about 101 different horror movies. That was really fun to go through. There were a lot that I hadn't seen that I had to keep covering my ears and eyes for because I didn't want spoiled. And then we also watched Queer for Fear, a history of queer culture in horror. Was the subtitle, I think? That was the gist of it. It's 4 episodes. And both were really great watches because they came out weekly during October, so we could kind of just be in a spooky feeling all month. And I recommend both. I especially the Queer for Fear. I learned a lot that I didn't know. Like, I knew queer culture and queer representation and queer artists were heavily involved in horror from the jump, but I didn't realize how inherently tied to it all was in that capacity. And I think it would behoove a lot of horror fans to check it out. And yeah, I don't know. Did you have any thoughts from watching either of those?
I really like, if you're a person like me who likes the concept and the execution of stuff, but doesn't necessarily want to experience an hour and a half in a universe where you have a specific thing. Watching the 101 Moments series was really fun because I got to see a lot of interesting things somewhat out of context. And I got to appreciate it's a body genre, which is like putting you in an emotion of the same thing that the people on screen are experiencing. It's about giving you that same fear that they're feeling. And I'm really fascinated by different techniques and traditions of horror and stuff as a genre. So I found that really cool and digestible as the person that I am.
Yeah. Why did you?
I didn't mean to. My jump scares. That's my jump scare.
Yeah.
It's just being
Living
clumsy.
with you is a horror movie. You finally decided to scare. So I scare Bob. Look, it's probably abusive, I would think. but I like to do the whole hide in the dark shadows and jump out and scare you and
By saying Baba Booey.
Baba Booey, which is like a meme from video games. It shows up in like Gary's Mod and stuff. And what was I doing? Was I just coming out of the bedroom? I think I went to the bathroom or something.
Mm-hmm.
And where were you hiding? Oh, you were hiding like right up against our bedroom door around the corner.
Yeah.
And
This also was preceded by a time he had gone to the bathroom and I had tried to wait in the hallway and then I ran out of patience
mhm.
and went back to bed. And I told him that. And he was like, oh, you should have scared me. That would have been great.
No, that came after.
No, that was before.
Was that before?
That was before.
I remember that conversation being after.
Yeah, no, but that was why I did commit to the bit later,
Gotcha.
because you told me I should.
And I unleashed just the most menacing monologue ever.
Mm-hmm.
My God, it scared me a little.
You were possessed by a spirit you didn't know lived inside you.
I was possessed by the spirit of Vincent Price. No, I just went straight into like, it was like this whole like, I'm very proud of you for finally taking that step, but do realize you royally f***ed up because now I won't hold back with the scary kind of thing. So yeah, it was like a whole thing. It was very funny. But yeah, well, I watched a lot this month. I think I dug in a little more finally because I had the 2 weeks off. I finally watched James Wan's 2019 Malignant, which I couldn't tell you who's starring it right now. It was people I didn't know. But what I will say is it was so good because it is very much a high production B horror film. Clearly Warner Brothers, he did Aquaman and they were like, okay, you can make whatever you want to make. And he made this movie and it is so good. And I don't want to spoil the twist. All I'll say is it's about a woman that is having these kind of like daymares about these violent killings at the hands of this trench coated kind of long hair Sudoka killer kind of thing. And she just keeps seeing these visions and it's kind of the first half is this very like tension building kind of creepy murder mystery horror movie where like the murders are actually happening as she's seeing them kind of thing. And then the second half turns into this just amazing thing that I can't talk about more without spoiling it. So I highly recommend that. I also, I think right before I got sick, went to see Smile, which came out this year. And it was so good. And it's getting such mediocre reviews from people. I think it's probably we're in a very good spot with horror in the last couple of years, so I'm not going to say it's the best one that's come out, but it's definitely like one of the best underdog horror movies for me of the last couple of years. Kind of like Oculus, where it's like it does the thing so well that it's setting out to do, and it doesn't try to over exert itself in that capacity. It ramps up the tension, it uses the mechanic it is introduced, and it just makes you kind of like, oh, really uncomfy. And then
yeah, it was one of the movies that you watched and then you came home to me and was like, this one actually freaked me out.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It does deal it's very intimately involved with a lot of mental health issues, which I think genuinely, as far as horror / sci-fi goes, with dealing with mental health issues as like being involved with whatever the horror is, I think it's definitely one of the better handled ones where it's not too much of a caricature of mental health issues. So that was definitely it was a good watch. I got spooked quite a few times. Definitely good for a dark room and kind of like just very very tense. What else? I rewatched the It movies with our friend Mandy, who's been on the podcast a couple of times now. Or she's been on twice. No, she was on this one and she was on our other one.
Mm-hmm.
Very short-lived We Could Be Clowns, which is still available. You can go listen to that at We Could Be Clowns. My God, I love those movies. I really do. The first one's definitely better. But the second one, to me, a lot of people don't like the second one because it goes much more like sci-fi action as opposed to straight up horror, which the first one is. But that's kind of like necessitated by the fact that they split So Stephen King's It, the book, is told present day for the adults, and then flashbacks to them as children dealing with Pennywise. And the original miniseries does that same format of bouncing back and forth. For this series of movies, they decided to do the children's side first and then the adult side with some additional flashbacks. And so it's a longer movie. It's much more, to me, it's kind of like Stranger Things in that way of it's very much like a D&D campaign.
Mm.
And so I think a lot of people don't enjoy that compared to the straight horror of the first one, but I'm down for it. So, yeah.
We watched one of the Scooby-Doo movies we set out to watch.
We did. So originally our Halloween episode of the show was going to be watching the Mook Animation Scooby-Doo features. There were 4 movies made from 1990, I believe 7 to 2003. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, and Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, which was the last one and kind of was the downfall of Scooby-Doo movies in the sense that their quality just got more focused on being entertaining for kids. And I was worried because Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost was one of my childhood favorites. It's one of the ones we had the tape for, and I rewatched the hell out of it. And I remembered it so vividly, and I remembered it being so good. And I remembered the animation just being top notch. And then finding out the reason why is because they literally outsourced it to a Japanese animation company who excels in animation at the time and were masters of their craft. And then we watched it, my first time seeing it in years. What did you think?
It was a lot of fun. And yeah, the animation really held up. It was just they definitely were masters of doing enough that it looks good, but not so much that it's oh, you had to put a lot of work into this.
The lighting was so just good and so well done. Everything that glimmered and glistened and shined just, to me, it would have been one of those things that's only possible in CG, right? And they did it hand-drawn animation. So it holds up so well. It's a great Scooby-Doo story. It's got a really stellar performance from Tim Curry. It's also the movie that introduced the Hex Girls to the Scooby-Doo franchise, which I didn't realize until a couple of years ago. They drag them out of the closet every couple of years to do a thing. But that's the best version of them, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you're looking for a fun, not scary, but kind of spooky fall vibe type thing, I definitely recommend those first 2 movies, Zombie Island and Witch's Ghost. Alien Invaders has the problem where I think the issue is that some of the characters are supposed to be indigenous people, and the voice actress that is playing that character is definitely of the Caucasian persuasion. And also I just can't remember if there are any other problems with that one. And Cyber Chase is definitely they were coming up on the end of, I think, their contract with Mook Animation, and okay, you got to make another one, but we're going to rush this one because we have other things we want to do. And it comes up, but I remember there being some fun stuff, but one day we will watch it. Maybe next year we'll do the rest of them and do a full episode. But yeah, it holds up, and I was so glad it held up. I was so relieved, because it's really good.
We did our annual rewatch of Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, we did do. Yeah, if you're interested in our thoughts on Over the Garden Wall, go back and check out season 1, episode 8, I think, or 9,
something like that.
One of the early episodes, back when we did basically this, and then we're that's dumb. Let's not do that. Plot twist: it was only dumb because we sucked.
I just needed to get some experience, a little help from our friends to boost our capabilities, and now we
listing off Beatles songs. What were you doing?
We got a whole walrus, and now the podcast is excellent.
Did you know it's Goo Goo Gajoo? It's not Cuckoo Cachoo.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I was listening to the Across the Universe soundtrack the other night because
I heard you singing along.
Oh, okay. Well, we're sharing that fun fact.
Sorry,
I sing sometimes.
It made me smile.
Oh.
I like knowing you're having a good time.
Okay, well, that's a lot. How dare you? Only like me in my misery. But yeah, I was sitting there and I'm like, Bono's going goo goo gajoob, and I'm like, what? No, it's Cuckoo Cachoo. Because I was like, oh, it relates to the Mrs. Robinson song. I was like, it's the sequel or whatever. Because the Beatles were known for sequels.
Get you, Mrs. Robinson.
Oh, no.
You are the Eggman, I am the walrus now.
Yeah. So, what were you talking about? We rewatched Over the Garden Wall, which, by the way, HBO Max cuts one of the songs. It's when Lorna and Wirt are cleaning Auntie Whisper's house at night after she's gone to bed, and there's this song. Not that they sing it like it's not them animated singing it while they're cleaning. It's played over them in this cute little like meet cute montage. Yeah, and that's the phrase. Neat. Okay, I learned something new.
Diegetic music is music that's happening. Like the Hex Girls music is diegetic music. They're actually playing it. Non-diegetic is like soundtrack music, something that the characters in the movie aren't actually hearing.
Got it. I thought non-diegetic music was music that didn't die at the hands of a jet.
Ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, da-da-da.
Anyways.
When you're a jet all the way.
Oh my God.
Cigarette
what are you doing? Are you getting us a copyright strike? Stop it.
I don't think I sing well enough to get us.
I think we're at like 15 days left for Warner Brothers to respond to my copyright claim before it goes away. So dumb. We did Nightmare on Elm Street, which was our first mistake. We did Warner Brothers movie. Now we're talking about more Warner Brothers movies. And there was clips in the video version, and yeah, it got flagged. Even though like it only flagged the Johnny Depp scene that we used a clip of, and then like
and we are well within our Creative Commons rights.
There was no audio. It was us talking about the scene. It was very much fair use. It was for entertainment purposes. It was us reviewing it. You can make an argument as for educational purposes because we're very educational official gays. Hong Kong.
We're doing gay education. This is what.
Conversion therapy? Nuh-uh. You got us instead. We're turning the freaking frogs gay. Why didn't you do that for Halloween? You didn't want to repeat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I also think my rainbow shirt wasn't clean because I just worn it a bit ago. And you're like, oh, that's a Chucky shirt. I was like, no, he's got a much more limited color palette. And you were like, it doesn't matter. It's striped.
Well, clearly he could do for an upgrade because clearly Chucky is the most woke. Chucky went woke first as the horror franchise.
For the record, I'm not killing you because you're gay.
Yeah, I have a queer son or a queer child.
Gender fluid.
Gender fluid. It's just a good TV show. Watch it, please. I don't want it to get canceled.
They're having so much fun making.
They really are.
Also, shout out to Dead
Meat.
Meat.
Yeah. Oh man, what 3 episodes in a row now? No, we didn't do it with James's episode, but yeah, Dead Meat has been doing interviews, post-show shows every episode, and they're really good. And yeah, it was also fun because we watched Scream 5 yesterday, and they're in that. And it's definitely I didn't watch them as much before Scream 5 came out. It wasn't until like around the time Scream 5 was coming out that I started watching them. And so it was really fun to watch like it and see them doing it and like just knowing that like, man, that's the coolest fucking thing.
That is like truly as a YouTuber, I feel like being the person that they're like, we want you to do a little thing in our movie because you're a person who does this enough that this is like
in our very meta movie about series getting rebooted and sequels and sequels getting ignored and like all that stuff, which is funny because they don't ignore the sequels. That's the even funnier part because they have someone from Scream 4. So they very specifically go right up to the butt of the sequels. The butt of the sequels. The big butt.
The butt sequel is just the thighs.
So I'm going to take a moment.
Okay.
To go downstairs and grab something. But Bob, why don't you take a moment to talk to the audience? Yeah, just say whatever you want. Just do whatever you want. I don't care. That's, it's fine. Because I'm just going to leave it in.
Okay.
No matter what you say.
Wow, that's a lot of trust
sure is.
that you're engendering in me. It's also not like he has to travel very far. And if I were not wearing headphones in a very well-lit studio, I would try to do a jump scare so that you all could appreciate that. But also, I don't know that I could pull it off. Tell John to write his alternate universe Scream fanfic where Sidney Prescott's cousin survives 4 and then has to deal with being the new final girl and what goes on there. Also, Emma Roberts plays her, and their in-universe last name is Roberts, I'm pretty sure, so that's wild. We have shows, but we'll talk about that more at the end with Jon, who knows things. Yeah, there are multiple things we need to watch that we have not gotten to yet because we've been sick and busy. And then it's not going to be October anymore, and we're going to have other things that we're watching. There is no way this is taking you this long. It's right on the couch. There's the sound of the stairs. And the man himself returns.
I rolled my ankle coming
Oh no!
I was having trouble finding something to cut the plastic because we hadn't opened these ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yesterday we went through a bunch of these already.
Yes. Okay.
So these are the ones that were unopened. So give me stack. Fuck!
Oh, he's alive. What were you doing with Chucky before I
I
got back
did
up
not
here?
touch him.
Oh, it's the ghost of Charles.
Please.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do what, 10 of these cards maybe? Because there's 2 questions per card.
Yeah.
So we'll do the full gambit, and then we'll go into our listener stuff. If you're gonna skip this part, thanks for checking it out. We're back-ish. There might be some changes to our release schedule as I get back into the groove of working again and maybe start to work on some other projects. We'll see. Nothing official. But in the meantime, we're going to have fun with this, and I hope you stick around for it.
In the 2012 movie The ABCs of Death, how many stories were included in the film?
27. Is it less?
It's 26. That's how many letters are in the alphabet.
Shit. Okay, well, I was going for numbers of... yeah.
Yeah.
I had the answer in my head. I'm just dumb.
Yes. What 2018 film unravels cryptic and terrifying secrets about the Graham family ancestry?
You want to try that again so I can understand what you're saying?
What 2018 film unravels cryptic and terrifying secrets about the Graham family ancestry?
The Graham family and maybe The Haunting on Hill House?
No.
Graham family. Oh, I don't...
This is one of the movies that you...
Oh, is it one I know?
It's one that you have not watched yet and that you had to
Is
avoid
it
spoilers.
Hereditary?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Hey, what snack is Tallahassee searching for in Zombieland?
Twinkies!
Yeah.
Same.
The serial killer in Scream wears a mask inspired
Ghostface.
by which Edvard
Oh,
Munch
Scream.
painting? Well, it's The Scream.
The Scream.
yes.
Yes, Edward, yeah. I recreated that in middle school. We were studying not collage, basically like mosaic, yeah. And so I had to recreate using magazine cuttings of colors and stuff. I recreated Edvard Munch's Scream.
That's cool.
So I did know that. Yes.
Yeah, look at you. That's fun. This film, written by Quentin Tarantino about a gang of vampires in a bar, was also made into a TV series.
From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yep.
Yep.
What do the gang of killers wear for disguises in the 2011 movie You're Next?
Is it the animal masks?
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
I did not read these downstairs before this happened.
He just knows a good amount of stuff about things.
We'll do the whole deck, I swear to God.
Stuntman Kane Hodder is best known for his portrayal as what character?
Jason.
Yeah. What?
Voorhees.
Yes.
Ooh.
With Prosecco in it. What 1988 film directed by Wes Craven centers around an anthropologist sent to Haiti to research voodoo?
Is that Reanimator?
No.
Fuck.
I have never heard of
Wes
this one.
Craven.
Here's a hint that might help. The title is formulated the same as our title, The Blank and the Blank.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's... Whenever it's something I don't know, I'm like, does John know this? Because, like,
There's a chance I might, and there's a chance I won't.
Yeah, because at least you would have talked about the thing, even if you hadn't talked about the specific.
Yeah, that's the problem with Wes Craven is I really have blind spots with him because he did Last House on the Left, the original, and then he did the first Nightmare movie, and then he did New Nightmare, and then he did the first 4 Scream movies, and that's like where my pantheon for Wes Craven is.
Yeah, but he did so many other little things. All right. What 2005 movie directed by John Gallagher was the first horror project film winner for Project Greenlight?
Oh, was it The Babadook?
No.
Lights Out?
No.
Purge?
No. It is a one word.
I'm gonna say after 3 guesses, if I don't get it, it's lost cause.
Fair enough. Feast.
Oh, yep, no.
Okay, this is a quote. No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface.
Scream,
I want to be
Casey
in the
Becker.
sequel.
Or no, not Casey Becker. Oh no. Oh my God. It's Rose McGowan's character. It's her last name's Riley. Hold on. No, I'm gonna get it. Her last name's Riley. Tatum, yeah. There we go.
You just needed to name the movie. You did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoops.
That was
the thing I was doing last night was answering the quote questions with the person in the movie.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay, well we have to. That was 10, but I the next one I just need to read one of the questions.
We can just keep going. I'm fine with this. I'll just cut out and I'll cut it off at a point.
This 2001 remake that stars Matthew Lillard prompted film critic
13
Roger
Ghosts.
Ebert to claim the movie was literally too painful to watch.
It wasn't. It's the best. Watch 13 Ghosts. It's got Monk.
What 1971 film features a group of killer rats that are led by a man seeking revenge on those who have wronged him?
Ratcatcher?
No.
A plague?
No.
Is it something related to rats?
No, but
fuck.
I believe it's his name. Willard.
Some pig.
Ooh. In what movie did the survivors use petri dishes with blood samples and a heated wire to determine which of them is the host of an extraterrestrial creature?
Thing.
Yep.
The Thing.
Yes.
The Thing 2, Electric Boogaloo.
This 1990 movie about infestation of murderous spiders features John Goodman and Jeff Daniels.
It's not the 8-Legged Freaks, is it?
No.
No. Arachnophobia?
Correct.
Yeah.
What was the name of the possessed doll in the 2014 movie The Conjuring?
Annabelle.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie. No, not The Conjuring, but the Annabelle movie.
Yes.
It's awful.
In the movie Devil, where were 5 characters trapped in most of the movie?
Elevator.
Yeah.
Very
what
weird
Wes
movie.
Craven movie was inspired by the true story of a wild Scottish clan who murdered and cannibalized numerous people during the Middle Ages?
Was it Last House on the Left? No, I don't know.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh!
I didn't realize that was Wes Craven.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was Craven either. Huh. Wait. So, okay, never mind. Well, Wes Craven then exists in... Like, the director, Wes Craven, exists in the Scream franchise because in Scream 4, there's a Hills Have Eyes poster, the original in the background.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Which franchise has the most sequels, Puppet Master or Child's Play?
Puppet Master.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, more of that. What actress played Tiffany in The Bride of Chucky?
Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah. What Clive Barker movie focuses on monsters who inhabit the underground city of Midian?
The French Connection. French Dispatch.
It's a Wes Anderson movie.
Same person. It's like, oh, well, no, never mind. Well, I don't know.
Nightbreed.
Oh, sure.
A thick fog rolls in and after a powerful storm, bringing deadly creatures in what 2000 film directed by Frank Darabont?
It's either The Mist or The Fog.
The Mist.
Okay. It's actually, yeah.
Set in the year 2455, where does the film Jason X take place?
Space.
Yeah.
The Final Frontier.
What director of
Oh my God, wait. Friday the 13th Star Trek crossover when they get the rights sorted out. There we go. Continue.
What director of The Omen went on to direct 1978 film Superman?
Oh, Donner.
Yep. Which series of children's horror books is written by author R.L. Stine?
Goosebumps. And also not Scary Stories, Till Dawn in the Dark. Fear Street, and also Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, I think was another one. And he also did The Babysitters, I think. No relation to the Netflix movie. Anyways, continue.
And no relation to the Babysitter's Club.
Yeah, no relation to you. This is very different.
Oh my gosh. What is the name of the sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien?
Aliens.
Yeah.
With an S.
Which actress plays a psychotherapist who enters the mind of a comatose serial killer in the 2000 film The Cell?
What's the name of the doctor?
What's the name of the actress who plays the psychotherapist?
Nicole Kidman?
Nope.
Is it someone I know?
Yes.
Heather Langenkamp?
No. Not a
Scream Queen?
Yeah.
Okay. 2000?
Yes.
Charlize Theron?
Nope.
Jennifer Aniston?
It's a Jennifer.
Shit. Jennifer Tilly?
No. Lopez.
Oh, I was going to say Jennifer Love Hewitt next. We were going to get there eventually. There's like 5 in Hollywood.
There are more Jennifers than that.
Nah. Actors Guild.
Who are the only 2 actors who have faced off against an alien, a Terminator, and a Predator?
Actors?
Yeah.
Arnold.
No.
Wait,
All those.
Thought an alien?
A Terminator and a Predator.
Oh. Linda. No, okay.
This might be a too weirdly specific question.
It is weirdly specific, but I feel like I should know the answer because I've seen most of the Terminator movies.
Mm-hmm.
Sigourney Weaver?
No.
I don't know.
Lance Henriksen and Bill Paxton.
Oh, Bill Paxton. I definitely should have known. Fuck. Oh, rip.
This 2001 film involves a religious fanatical father who takes his 2 sons on a divine mission to kill demons.
Supernatural.
No, it's a TV.
Yeah, I know. The Village?
No.
Oh,
Frailty.
oh, no clue.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one more card.
Okay. What 1970s pop music icon starred as Nikki in David Cronenberg's Videodrome?
1970s?
Yes.
Madonna?
Nope.
One of the members of ABBA?
No.
Is this someone I should know?
I feel like, but I also...
Do you know a song?
I don't know a specific song. I just know that this is like a famous person.
Thanks.
Sorry.
I'll give it one good stab.
Her nickname was the color of her hair.
Blondie.
Yep. Do you know Blondie's?
No.
Debbie Harry.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that her nickname's Blondie and her last name's Harry.
Yep. And final one, what movie's tagline was just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water?
Jaws 2?
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So I'm gonna pull it up on my phone and no more cards.
I know.
Finish the trivia section. It was fun. We're just gonna do that every episode until we run out of cards because I love that. I like being quizzed. We really need you. You know what?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know.
thing you can do is start coming up with quizzes. So I need to find where it's saved. Got it. Okay. So basically, we did a listener survey, as you may know, and a couple of people were really kind enough to take the time to fill it out and give us some fun insight well before we died of COVID. So the thing that we asked them, or kind of was like, hey, what's the thing? Is we asked them like, hey, is there something you want us to specifically say or whatever? And so I figure we'll just trade off on these
Okay.
back and forth. Our good buddy Bacon, swell guy. He's great. He said, thank you, Jonk, for spoiling every bit of current media for me. You and Bob are wonderful. Keep being amazing. Happy to keep spoiling stuff for you. Eventually, he will be a guest on this podcast, and it will be, we have watched a movie that he hasn't, and we're just going to talk about it, and he's going to just be there. Great. Do you want to read the second one?
Yeah.
Just scroll to the right.
Have you heard that joke about gaslighting? Yeah, you have.
Didn't even give me. Amazing.
There was no included, like, wait for response.
No, that was Tyler. Okay, our buddy Brian. Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. From Moses, he knows his toes aren't roses, as Moses supposes his toes to be. Was that supposed to be a tongue twister?
Yes, it's a tongue twister that specifically comes up in Singing in the Rain. They have a little song they sing.
Oh.
Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses...
Copyright strike. Stop it. No singing. This isn't that kind of show. I'm going to save that third one for last, so go ahead and do the next one.
For reference, these are in a Google sheet.
These are in a Google sheet. I will say, go ahead and read it anyways, because it's our buddy Carl Pagan.
Enjoy daily life convos and stories in general, also musical theater or general community theater stories.
I think that was just like in response to... yeah. Okay. A question for us both. If you could save any character from dying in any movie, who would it be? This is very fitting for the episode.
Yeah.
Is there a movie? It doesn't have to be horror, but if it is, great. Is there a movie character that their death was just so heart-wrenching and you want it not to be true?
I'm sure there is. Oh, God. Who?
Spoilers for whatever's about to come out of Bob's mouth.
Do you have one? I'm trying so hard to think about movies I've watched.
Oh, McSteamy on Grey's Anatomy.
That's a TV character. Is that allowed?
Oh, shit. You're right. I said movie.
But that's fair.
Golly. See, I have an answer from the new Scream movie, but it's also not because I get why they did it for the plot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't watch what are movies that made me sad?
Oh, you know what? We actually just talked about this. Jill Roberts from Scream 4.
Yes.
I
actually mentioned this while you were gone.
Oh, did you?
Because I was like, tell John to write this fanfic because I want to hear.
Yeah, Jill Roberts. I won't say it so nobody can steal it, but I think there's an interesting story to be told if Jill had survived. So do you have a character now that I've given you time by answering the question? But
no, because that was the problem is you said something that I was like, yes, and then it took my mind off of movies I've watched. I can't remember a death where I wasn't like, yeah, that needed to happen. Honestly.
It doesn't have to be that. It's just a character that you like that died, that you don't want them to be dead.
Grandma Connie and Marcel the Shellfish.
Oh my God, it was so sad.
Truly just absolutely heartbreaking.
God, that fucking movie, man. Oh, yeah, no, that's a good answer. That's a really good answer. Oh, you know what? I'd also have to say, if we're talking about modern movies that we've seen recently and Everything Everywhere All at Once, the version of her husband that dies. I want him to die. He was very good. Great. So our good friend Katie Tarara, who, what episode is this? 111? Basically, she's gonna be a guest at some point, and that keeps getting shifted back.
Busy woman.
So she asked us to improvise something.
Oh wow.
Which we've never done on this podcast. So Bob, I'm going to give the suggestion.
Okay.
This isn't something we talked about beforehand because it's improv, and I just came up with this suggestion of, and to keep it easy since we're sitting in front of microphones and at a table, interview. And I will let you start the scene. However you want to do it. It'd be really funny if it was... I'll just let you figure out what you want to do here.
Yes. So today we are joined by the Wolfman himself.
Ow.
Please, thank you so much. Could you please state your name for the audience? I've only,
Man Wolf.
Oh, so your name is Man Wolf?
Yes, my man. It's MANNWULFF.
Wow. Is it too much to ask if you were born into being a wolfman, or this was just the most coincidental thing to happen in your life?
Lycanthropy was not something that I was born with. It was something that was thrust upon me.
Wow, because that's like Remus Lupin levels of
Yeah,
name.
no, it's really tragic.
Yeah, but of your name being the most convenient thing for the... Because imagine if your name was Man Wolf and you got bit by a vampire.
I don't get it. Are you implying there's something related to my name and lycanthropy?
So Man Wolf has written an amazing memoir about his time in Paris and the different experiences he had in with some acceptance and some divisiveness. What were some of the most difficult things about living in Paris for you, Man Wolf?
I think the hardest thing about living in Paris was that the bread was hard and it hurt my teeth. I have very sensitive teeth.
Oh, that's... I can't imagine.
I'm sorry, is there something
I
on your mind?
We had sent you a pre-interview questionnaire about if there were any topics you wanted us to not touch on, and I'm not going to say the ones you mentioned, but there was only a couple, and it didn't...
To be fair, I had my friend fill that out, Frankie.
Yes. Well, I imagine you trust him quite a lot.
Sure do.
So we're not going to mention those things, but you didn't mention how much I was to ask about the lycanthropy, because I don't know where the line is on that.
Well, I think that's a big thing, is lycanthropy in media really has a bad rap, and I think it's been really portrayed as being a creature of the night, and something to fear and something that feasts. And I really, I think that's unfair, because there are a lot of us out here that, we only feast when we have to. I think we really go out of our way to...
You're not like an ermine or a mink who kills for fun. You're a wolf, and you kill for sustenance. Yeah. You're not batting your food around being...
No. Like if I'm going for the jugular, I'm going for the jugular.
This interview is scheduled on a full moon, and we are recording leading right up to moonrise. For scheduling reasons, I was told by my producers.
Ah, oui. Scene.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed that and you're like, oh, I need more of that.
Yeah. So we have a thing to that. So yeah, that was okay. Any other closing thoughts on whatever we just did? Thank you again to everyone that submitted for the survey and listening to the podcast. And if you've watched the video version, if you didn't know, we do a video version. It's up. Actually, I just got James's episode up yesterday. We watched Hocus Pocus 2 with him. Not yesterday. I got it up. Yeah, I got it up on Monday. So, and this is coming out Tuesday. COVID really threw us off, but we will continue to be doing a video version when we do an audio version. And
video version, you get to see all the cool stuff we've collected.
Yes,
Sometimes it's
Sometimes.
Specifically, the horror one is John's stuff, but often it's a combination of things because we're both people who like to have objects.
We like stuff and things.
Trinkets.
But yeah, we will be doing, so first things first, November 11th at Arcade Comedy Theater. You can see us with the rest of the cast of the Big Queer Improv Show. So it's queer comedians in the city. It's a lot of fun. We just kind of sit down with an artist, talk to them, and do some make 'em up.
It's Peggy Walkush, who's been our producer, and we're really excited to have her in the interview seat.
Yeah. And then bigger to us, I think, which is fair to say, on November 25th, Black Friday, if you're looking for a way to escape your family, and you're in Pittsburgh.
You want a great deal on a comedy show.
I promise it's going to be better than that. On November 25th at 9:30 p.m., you can catch the Butch and the Bi Variety Hour-ish. We had such a good time doing our 100th episode, which if you haven't seen it, it's on our channel. It was the first video podcast on this channel, and we had such a good time doing it. And when we talked to some of the other comedians that attended, they really enjoyed that it was kind of just a variety show. We really didn't do our typical podcast episode. We got our guests that are near and dear to us, and we did a variety show, and it was so much fun. We had a blast. The people that came said they had a blast. I hope they weren't lying, because we then pitched, hey, let's do more of that. And so Arcade agreed. And so November 25th, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some really great people lined up to be in the show. It's going to have stand-up. It's going to have some, we'll call it sketch, but it's maybe something a little different than that. We'll have some improv. There are going to be some games, and there's probably going to be quite a bit more audience participation because we're not going to be too worried about the technology side of things. So if you are a fan of ours, if you're in Pittsburgh, if you just want a good kind of sampling platter of a comedy show, if you've never been to Arcade, I think it's going to be a really great introductory show because we're kind of doing a little bit of everything that they offer. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun with a lot of really cool people and us, and we're excited for it. And Bob, where can the fine listeners find you?
You can find me at A Small Frog Art on various platforms, Patreon, .com, Instagram. I make little cute things.
Yeah, there should be a URL in their handle at the bottom here. And you can also visit www.thebutchandtheby.com. That's A&D, not ampersand, where you can find, because the internet does not like ampersands. Jesus Christ.
COVID has taken so much from us.
Oh, it's over, isn't it? Isn't it over? See, I can sing. You can't. I mean, I'm allowed to sing. I'm not saying you can't sing as in quality-wise. Anyways, you can go there and find links to all of our social media things. If you have the time and you're able to, go follow us on the different social media platforms that you're on. Go interact with those posts. It really does help because we live in a very algorithm-fueled system, and we love doing this show, and we want to continue doing it. And yeah, so Bob, you look like you have something in your hand. What is it you want to do here? You have another card?
I was looking, but it was fun because it related to the improv we did, which is what movie is considered to be a sequel to the movie An American Werewolf in London.
A sequel to American Werewolf in London?
What is considered to be a sequel?
Is it Wolfman?
No, it's pretty much exactly what your character was.
Was it Interview with a Vampire? No. Oh, I don't know.
An American Werewolf in Paris.
Did you know that was a movie?
I did not. I said Paris and then was like, wait, it was London. God damn it.
Oh my God. You were trying to do Amazing. Well, yeah, thank you again, and thank you, Bob, for surviving COVID with me and doing this a very special episode of The Butch and the Bye. No, a very special episode of Good Time Watching. It's still The Butch and the Bye, the podcast. It's just, algorithms and SEO and whatever.
SEO.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting?
I don't think so. Vote.
Oh, please.
And if you're listening to this, you should know not to vote Republicans.
Oh, yeah, get vaccinated, because that sucked. I mean, we're vaccinated, but,
it could have been worse. Get boosted.
Get boosted, because it does suck if you don't. Honk, honk. Yeah, highly recommend getting vaccinated, but I'm assuming the people listening to our show
You would hope.
Stuff.
Keep wearing a mask inside.
Yeah.
Just...
If you're just sitting around, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah, go vote. Go do those things. And... what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something. There's something I'm forgetting.
Baba booey.
Oh, bye.
Butch.